Hello everybody, Camelia here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a new sewing pattern review. Today I would like to share with you the latest pattern release from Designer Stitch. The pattern is just out, so I was thinking to make a short video, talk a little bit about the details of the Linley top and dress. So maybe if you are interested, you can also take advantage of the release sale price. So before we start, please consider subscribing to the channel, and also don't forget thumbs up to the video. They are very important. And I always love to hear your comments about the stuff that I'm sharing here on YouTube. So let's go on the project. So today we are talking about the Linley, I probably pronounced it wrong, but this is my way of doing it. The Linley top from Designer Stitch actually is a top and a dress. And I made two tops and a dress. I have the dress somewhere here, but I did not make it ready, so it needs to be ironed and stuff. I don't have it. So I just I'm going to talk about the tops that I made. So the Linley top and dress is made for wovens, and of course the main point of interest of this little top is of course this pleated detail here. I think you can see it much better in this top, where there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pleats that are shown here into a seam, and then you have two different. You have two ties, one that is coming in the seam here together with the pleats, and the other one that is on the side seam, and then you make a really nice bow. You can tie it, of course the fit is a little bit adjustable, you know, because you can make this a little bit tighter or a little bit looser. I will talk in a minute about a few sewing tips on this. Then you have just a little bit of a cotton sleeve. As you can see, I'm wearing also one. And then the back is plain. On the pattern there are optional waist darts, fisheye darts here. And if you are taking a look at the tested pictures, you see that there are also a lot of people that did sew the darts. I prefer to have it like this. And if you see here a seam here in the back, I'll talk about it in a moment. Talking about the testers, I highly recommend, and I'm going to put a link here in the video description. And from Designer Stitch, she's always she finds her testers really important, and also the testers are always on a high they are doing their best to make the garments for Designer Stitch. One, because they always get great advice for fitting wise, and you know, when you get such a great advice and such a great inspiration from everybody, you do your best even more. So on every pattern release, Anne is posting a roundup of the testers, and everybody is talking there about the patterns that the pattern options that they used, about the fabric that they used, the tips that they have for sewing the particular pattern. So I highly recommend you to go to take a look at the tester roundup for this pattern too, as you see there in a variety of fabrics, and of course in the top length and also in the dress length. So highly recommend that. With that being said, as I said, fabric wise, if you go to take a look at the pattern at the testers roundup, you see there a variety of fabrics. I used for this one is made in a linen viscose from Minerva. It's one of their Minerva exclusive viscose linen prints. It's something with a confetti. I'm not sure what's the name. I'll put a link in the video description, of course. And I used the same fabric also to make a pair of pants. I don't know if I have them here on the channel, but this fabric is really great. As you can see, it has just enough drape for this pleats to stay a little bit in place, and also as a pant it's just a great fabric. For this one, and actually this one was my test garment, this one is made in a just simple polyester satin, and I think a satin for this for this pattern, I think a satin is the most beautiful, because you have, even in a print like this, you can definitely see the pleats here is falling really soft and really nice. Going to put of course some pictures here, you will see it also for this one. Any type of flowy drapey fabric will work. I think also a little bit like a cotton, like a, of course it must not be very stiff, will work for this. But again, the testers, they use a variety of fabrics, and you see how every type of fabric is falling if you are going to read the blog post. For the rest, it's just a really easy top. The armholes are bounded with the bias binding. I just used, I cut it myself from the fashion fabric. And the back is really simple. There is nothing happening here. Again, there are optional darts. You can make them if you want, but you can also leave it like this. I like it a little bit loose. The problem is with this one here, as I said, this one was my first one, and I just forgot to think about it, because normally I do need sway back adjustment in designer stitch patterns, and when there is no center back seam, I almost always make sway back adjustment and then adding a center back seam, just to give a little bit of extra, how should I say, extra shaping here at the center back. But in this one, I totally forgot. I just made it as it was. I was thinking, well, it's going to be perfect. Well, I don't know if you can see in the pictures that I'm going to post, but it's just a tiny bit. My sway back adjustment is about 1.5 centimeters in sway back in designer stitch patterns, but I totally forgot it. So by that I mean, with the sway back, of course, that I always get a little bit of a bunching of fabric here, just because the back here is too long on me, or the pattern. So to do that, you know, the usual, actually what you need is almost like a dart that is going from the 1.5 centimeter at the, in my case, at the center back, to nothing to the side seam. Well, I did not do that anymore on this one. But you know, if you are watching from the front, you don't see my sway back adjustment that it was supposed to be there. Anyway, for this one, I did add a seam here in the back, so I just added 1.5 centimeter seam allowance, and I did my sway back here, and I have the pattern kit, of course. You can see it. Let's see, where is that? It's here. You can see it here, that is about 1.5 centimeter what I added, and then going to nothing here, and then my center back seam is not straight anymore, so it's just a little bit shaped. I think it could get a little bit more shaped, and of course, if I was to use this dart, I will have to straighten it up a little bit, because of this adjustment. It cut a little bit crooked, as you can see here. So the back, as you can see, this is a long piece, because it's the one for the dress. You have a line where you should take off the lower piece to make it for the top. Sewing tips that I have for this one. This is a really easy pattern. I mean, if you want to have a really fast top or dress for the summer, or you think, well, it's really warm in my sewing room, I just want to have just a little bit of sewing and to be done, I think this one is really the perfect pattern. Here you can see how the pattern piece is looking. What I want to say with why I did take out the piece, because I just want to talk a little bit about the construction here in the front. Actually, this is really easy, because you make your ties first. You have 2 pattern pieces for the ties, or is one, I think there are 2, I don't know anymore. But you make your ties, you have them ready to go, and then you pleat the 4 pleats. Put one of the ties here in the seam, is actually at the top here, and then you have to sew this, let's see, this seam here, because you cannot see it. You have to sew this. So at the end, when all these pleats are together, these 2 parts should be the same. Something to think about, because you probably work with a fabric that is really soft, and also because this is cut like this, is getting a little bit on the bias. So you have a big chance that at least this piece, this edge here, is going to stretch out. So after you are making your pleats here, you think, well, my piece is really long, it's not going to fit. My advice is make the pleats, baste them in place, or baste them close, let's say, and then you start from here, you pin here, then you pin this part here at the lower part, and you see that if you have just a little bit of extra fabric on this part, you'll be able to ease it in, because mostly it will be just a little bit stretched out. You really need to be careful, because you are probably going to work with a really soft fabric. Also the armholes, this is always my advice, if you want to try the top, let's say, before you are going to bound your neck hole and your armholes, I would say just stay stitch all these edges, the neckline, the armholes, stay stitch them, and then you can try the top on, because otherwise everything is going to be stretched out and it's going to be a big mess. So make the front detail, or you could baste first, whatever. But anyway, when you are handling this piece, because there is so much going on with all these edges that can be really easily stretched out, I highly recommend to stay stitch them, and anyway, don't go and try it on, you know, to leave the pieces hanging, because everything is going to stretch out and you're going to have problems. And I think that's it. Again, this is a really easy top in the designer stitch pattern. Of course, most of them have cup sizing, and this one also, so you have a really great start. I highly recommend you to measure yourself freshly, compare your size with the size chart. Remember that the size chart, you have also information there that your upper bust, so not the full bust, the upper bust, you'll use it in the size chart to replace the measurement for the full bust, and based on that you choose your size. That's really, really, really important. As I said, for the rest, the armholes and the neckline, they are finished with the bias binding. Very, very easy. I think this is just a really, really stylish top, really easy to make. It works great in a lot of fabrics and you're done in no time. So with that being said, I'm going to finish up here. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the video, under the video, and I'm going to do my best to help you with them. I am not sure for how many days the pattern is in sale, but probably for a week or something like that. So don't forget, you can take advantage of that. And for the rest, I'll say happy sewing. It's getting really warm here in my room. So don't forget, thumbs up to the video, and I hope to see you next time with the next video. I'm going to make it just now and post it also. Take care, everyone. Bye.